Leapfrog. Nailed it. Dialing in fitment is a bit like when you have a box within a box and you go to take out the smaller box and it makes that extremely satisfying and then you like kick it and it comes out. You know what I'm talking about? It's like that very satisfying box within a box. Maybe you don't know what I'm talking about, but it is an extremely satisfying thing. You know, God, I really hope you know what I'm talking about. But odds are that unless you work at Amazon or U-Haul, there's no goddamn way you'll have that satisfying moment doing it yourself unless you knew that there were rookie mistakes when putting boxes within boxes. But there's no channel that does the boxes within boxes. So within our case, this is gonna kind of come down to dialing in your fitment, because dialing in your fitment is a bit like putting a box within a box. It's really satisfying, but if you're never really gonna do it on your own unless you actually know what you're supposed to be doing. That may be one of my worst analogies of all time, but I'm Alex, Alex.fi on the picture page, and today we're gonna be talking about rookie mistakes when dialing in your wheel fitment. If you guys are looking to win a free set of wheels, we actually partnered with BBS Wheels. Picking up a t-shirt gets you automatically entered into win, which is pretty exciting, and every shirt that you pick up, we do a donation to the United Way. You get to pick up a free set of BBS wheels up to their performance line. How neat is that? It's pretty neat. Connor made a meme of me and all the things that I say and put it up on our Instagram page, and it made me a little salty, but that's okay. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button, otherwise you're probably missing out on great content like this.
I like the t-shirts here. Bull crap, poophead, no one likes the t-shirts here. You're only in it for the free wheels. Yeah, well, I do.
And if you're looking for aftermarket wheels, tires, or suspension, fitmentindustries.com. You know what it is. The first mistake people make when they go into dialing in their wheel fitment is that they only use their suspension adjustments to get the overall fitment the way that they want. Dialing in your fitment is a bit like having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You're gonna need the bread, you're gonna need the butter, the peanut butter, and you're gonna need the jelly to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You can't have just 2 pieces of bread and expect it all to work. You're gonna be a little bit depressed. Doesn't matter if you got tuna with no crust, if you got no bread, you just got tuna. Who eats tuna by itself? Nobody. Dialing in fitment needs to be done by utilizing all the variables that your wheels, tires, and suspension provide you. Using camber to dial in your fender to lip fitment is great, but you're also gonna need to adjust your tire aspect ratio to make sure that that fender to lip fitment can actually happen. If your tire is not pulled back far enough, you're never going to get that look. But then you're gonna wanna make sure that you have everything else locked in, like your actual wheels, because if you don't have the right offset on top, your wheel's not gonna be even close to being fender to lip. Now, that doesn't even go into the point of talking about anything else that you may need to consider, such as, well, you know, stuff. But you're gonna wanna make sure that you have your offset dialed in to even get that fender to lip fitment in the first place. A pro tip here is to see what others have already done. You don't need to reinvent the wheel if somebody has already done it on your car. If you use our gallery over at fitmentindustries.com, you can see actually what exactly other people have done. And yes, it's a plug, but you just going out there to look is gonna save us so much time and so many emails. It's gonna be incredible. Another classic mistake people make is that if they copy paste specs from another build, that it's gonna be automatically identical fitment. Now, it will be close. However, it will be no cigar. This is especially common on older cars, but because of age, deterioration, accidents that you probably didn't know happened, or if your car was just hand assembled, which has happened in the past, it won't always fit the same and you'll need to be ready for those adjustments. Datsuns are notorious for having their rear wheels off-centered over time because that's just what happens. Your perfect fitment on the passenger side for some reason is going to result in you rubbing on your fender on the driver's side fitment. You wonder how these cars actually even made it in the production line, and ask me how I know. I know. Pro tip here is to spend some time and actually change or install new suspension components on your car before you go into dialing in fitment. A lot of things like your bushings, diff straps, if you have them, control arms, tie rods, and things like that are actually going to help get your car set up on a baseline, because if you don't have that baseline or you're trying to dial in fitment using, you know, things that have deteriorated or maybe bent over time, it's just not going to be a good time for getting all of your fitment on the same level on one side or another. And you know what I'm talking about, because if you've ever been to one of those car shows where the guy is sitting in the back of the trunk trying to like like jumping on it, you know what I mean? And they're trying to get the fit. It usually is because one side fits super well, but they have to force the other side down because exactly what I talked about. Another good old rookie mistake in the good old book of FI stories is assuming that all tires are the same size because they have the same numbers. Now, this one is a little bit of a tricky one because unless you know that Toyo Proxies or Toyo Proxy or Toyo Proxos fit wide, there's no real easy way to know. This is why you'll often see a lot of guys and gals out there running specific types of tires for their fitment. They do this because they know exactly what to expect, especially with their sidewall rigidity, the sidewall itself, how beefy it is, how much it's gonna bubble, and everything in between. And if you actually use the gal, or if you wanna see what we're talking about, a lot of people tend to do that on specific platforms or specific styles of fitment. And even though this is an issue when dialing in your fitment, you really don't actually have to worry about this one if you're not planning on trying to win trophies at like Tuner Eagle. Just keeping it real, it's more of like a small rookie mistake than it is a big one. Having the right tire size, especially with your aspect ratio, is one of the biggest things can help you dialing in fitment to a T. Cross the T, dot the I's, perfect fit, mint. Got it. Dialing in fitment takes some time too. It's not just like a one time and done thing, even though we wish it was. It just takes constant tweaking and adjustments pretty much forever. Kind of like getting a dog. It's great at the beginning, but you're gonna have to eventually clean it up when it poops or pukes on the white carpet, and then you're gonna have to remember that you have to be home every 6 hours to play with it, and then you realize you can't go out and get drinks. Got a dog. Finally, one of my own favorite Subaru builds, Matt, it took him constant revisions to get his perfect static setup. And if you're looking to go down this path, be ready to spend large amounts of time for small adjustments to be made, because to dial it in perfect like my boy Matt takes a little bit of time, and it is a thing. This is where air suspension has really started to blow up because of its ease with dialing in fitment. When you can literally lift up your entire car at the push of a button, it does make it a little bit easier to figure out the fitment that you want to do without making as many mistakes. But that goes into our final rookie mistake, which is assuming that all air suspension is just what you need to dial in your fitment. And I wish that were true. Air suspension is incredible. It's dynamic. It's cool, like Cool Ranch. It makes just about anything on four wheels look better. Minivans, got it, sedans, hatches, wagons, crossovers, everything. It's just great, and we have it on our website, fitmentindustries.com. Even though air suspension is all of these things, it's not a golden ticket for perfect fitment. You'll still find yourself needing to adjust your camber plates and even investing in some new wheels or spacers to get the setup that you want. Don't think that air suspension is gonna be the die-all if you're looking for that perfect setup, because it's just like little tweaks, just like little pieces. You know, you just gotta have all of the little details to make it perfect. So what was your biggest mistake when you were trying to dial in your fitment? Let us know in the comments. It gives our boy Eric something to do for 12 hours a day because he has to reply to every single one. Not because he has to, because he wants to. And he heart reacts pretty much everything. And of course, don't forget, if you're looking for air suspension, wheels, tires, or suspension, fitmentindustries.com, where we pretty much have it all. Don't forget to subscribe. And anyway, drop a comment. We always love talking to you guys. I'm Alex from Fitment Industries. We will see you guys later. Peace.